NoSQL versus SQL paradigm. So first of all, what is the fundamental difference between NoSQL database and a traditional SQL database? See, let me explain it using this NoSQL DB itself. If you look at this table, let me go to the table view. See, an RDBMS table looks something like this. You have a primary key and you have different columns, each column having its own different constraints and data inside it. If you look at it from this level, there is no difference between an NoSQL database and an SQL database. But now let's go to a different view here. Here what you see is the same data. Okay, if you compare name, class and color, data, and an id gen value here, and but this is arranged as a JSON file, JSON record, and not in the format of a table. So basically, what does this mean, and how does it differ? If you look into an RDBMS system, what happens is this layout is constant. First you define a table, and inside the table you load the data. So either this field value is null, or there is something populated in this. But as a general rule, what we see is this layout is constant. Coming to a NoSQL database, if we don't have something like that, there is nothing like a standard table structure. You can load whatever data you want. All you need to do is reference the data based on this particular field name. So find name, you can fetch whatever data where name is equal to whatever data you whatever want. The syntax, and that also means that if you use that, the first record can contain three, you'll be seeing the three tags inside it. The next record can contain 20 different tags inside it. There is no restriction per se. Now if you look into MongoDB as a system, how do you operate it? Okay, I haven't included in the path variable. Mongo is how you access the shell. So when we are talking about any database, ultimately it boils down to two or three aspects. One is how to access the databases and how to change them, and then your CRUD operations, that is create, read, update, and delete. Show databases. Okay, here you have sorry, here you have 5 existing databases which you saw on the front end, and it's a no-brainer here. And this data, right? And now there is a slight quirk in MongoDB. You don't have a specific command to create a new database. All you have is to change the database to a new one. Sales underscore test2, let's assume. And what happens is, if this particular database doesn't exist in the system will automatically create a new database for you. Let's say we switch to test2. Now if I give show dbs, something should be visible, but it is not visible. This test2 which we created here, it doesn't exist, and that is because in MongoDB world, this database is visible only if there is some data present inside it. Our case, it's a completely blank database. So once you populate some data into this database, only then you'll be able to see it in the list of databases here. Okay, now just one more thing here. In the terminology, if you go to any RDBMS system, this is your table, right? What is the hierarchical organization? You have a database. Inside a database you have a table space which is optional. Inside that you have a table. Inside table you have rows. There are some rare column based databases like SAP HANA, but generally we will see only row based databases. But coming to MongoDB world, you have a table space, you have a database, no problem. You have a table space, no problem there also. And then you have what you call the whole structure is called a collection, and each row is called a document. So this becomes your individual isolated document, and this is your whole collection. Keeping this in mind, now let's try to uh, create a new database. Sorry, you have your database here. Now if you can if you want to drop this directly, you can do it. That's also not an issue, because you are already under this database. db dot drop database, just just like that. So it written the value as yes, fine. And again, because it's a JSON based structure, the output is in the JSON layout. That's also fine. Now, but nothing is visible here because even before there is no data available in the database, and there is no way you can see what is there inside it. Now, okay, let's go back to our database once again. Mm, First thing is create a collection, because ultimately that is what we are going to do everywhere, right? Let's say the collection is by name product. So what do? You insert a new record into this. Now the command for both inserting a single record and multiple records is the same. Let's say name. Outside we have a pen here. I'll go by this same structure which is used here. Class and color, right? Class is pen, color will be green. Okay, now just copy this. Just modify something. Lime green, this will be, let's say, pencil, and this will be pencil. I'm inserting two records here. Mm, see, it's the same thing which is visible here. Two records are inserted here. Now how do you, if you want to validate what is there inside it? Okay, before doing that, let's look into our database list. Show dbs. See, you have your sales db2, sales test 2 here. That is because we have inserted some data in this. Now how do you want to, how do you validate what is there inside it, or how do you see what is there inside it? And now comes your now comes your standard CRUD operations. Anyways, you ran through the create record, right? uh, in MongoDB you use find to display the data. So what is it? db dot, what is the collection name? Product dot find. Simplest way is display the data without any parameters passed. So there are two records in this. So two records got displayed here. Let me do one thing. I'll copy some records here. That will give us some data here. That will give us some data. Sketch pen, blue. Whatever. Okay. Now, okay, I have all my four. Now if you, this is not the comfortable for humans to read, so you have an option called pretty here. This returns data in a more readable manner. uh, Now I can search it. What did I give? I just gave find, right? I can search it based on a particular field value also. Pretty is optional, anyways. What can I do here? I can give the name as. That's okay. I'll do one thing. I'll give the class as pen. It will be more. I have three records here. Now, what can I do? I want to see only the first record, or I want to see only the first two records. You can limit the data, limit to two records. Okay. I want to skip the first record and then see the next two records. Skip one. I'll see only the two records here. Let's see how this works. Limit of 2 and then skip. What do I get? I get the second and third records here. So this is how this system works. Now I can give greater than I can give relational operators here as well. Goes by your if you look at these things, see, and this is how uh, I can give less than age in this specific case, age less than 25, less than or equal to 25, greater than 25, greater than or equal to 25, not equal to 25. And in the same manner I can give and or symbols also. uh, if you want to update a record, updation happens through the use of set command. See, basically it's the same query which you are running again and again. db product dot update many. So what do I do here? Class, what is it? Pen. What do I update to? Set it to class, class as let's say felt pen something. Close the brackets. 1 2. Okay, this should be fine, I guess. Okay, just one small thing here. Okay, so we have three records which are updated using this. Now let's go for the standard class is equal to pen. You will see nothing. Class is equal to felt pen. You will see the three records which are updated and they are present here. Now deleting is also similar. All you need to do is give a uh, product dot delete many. Now there is one more thing here. Every command has got a variance. Every command has got a variant. You have insert many, insert one. You have update many, update one. You have delete many, and delete one. The fundamental difference is insert will work different. Insert many and insert one will behave different. Insert many and insert update will behave different. But when you come to update and delete, update will update only uh, update one and update will update only a single record, but update many will update multiple records. There there insert will insert multiple records, but here update will update only a single record. Mm. So delete many name. If I give, let's go for the same pen only, felt pen, no? This time. Okay. Name felt pen, one record is deleted. Now, if you don't pass any parameters and run this blindly, in the same way, find command fetches you all the records. This will delete every record which is present in this. That's a word of caution. Sure, but now if you want to clear the data, drop this. Table is gone. Uh, now you drop. Now what you do is you drop the database. Delete database. Right. That was the command for us. Right. That's it. And drop database it is. This COVID is killing me. Okay. So from the high level, this is what MongoDB is all about for, especially if you're looking from the perspective of an integrated development, something like a full stack. Even there also, you generally don't need MongoDB shell or the traditional command structure which is used in MongoDB. Or you'll be using a sort of object data model where this is converted into a piece of like something like Python code. That is what you will be referencing it. This is just to validate whether the data is correctly getting correctly populated, whether the data is correctly available, and for such sort of even there also, I'll rather say it's easy for you to go and look into MongoDB Compass as compared to the front end, sorry, as compared to the shell. But it's up to you. This is a mandatory skill for you. This is a mandatory skill for you anyways, because executing things in shell is far simpler as compared to you using a front end like SQL Server or this one, MongoDB, Compass, and all these things. But ultimately, it's your choice.